So it looks like Harry Kane might be a very real option for Manchester United in the striking department this summer. He is Premier League proven. He is arguably world class. I think he would fit into Eric Ten Hag's system. And his poor injury record, well, it's actually a little bit of a myth. Despite all the positives which make Harry Kane seem like a very, very perfect option, and some will say the only option, there's things that need considering. So we're going to look at the reasons maybe not to sign Harry Kane, the worry with Harry Kane. It's rare that any signing is a true perfect match, and there are always some worries with every single player, and I try and do this with every transfer target United get. I look at the reasons why, and I look at the worry with. So let's have a look at what might be an issue with Harry Kane. First up then, is he cut out for Manchester United? Now, of course, Harry Kane is a proven goal scorer. He has got a lot of attributes to his game. His playmaking ability is probably very, very underrated. His passing ability and vision is underrated. He loves to drop in deep, help start attacks, and when he's got fast players around him in the attack, as you've seen so effectively with both like Lucas Moura and Heung-min Son, he can be incredibly effective in finding those players. His finishing from in and around the area with his head and with his feet is excellent. As we said, a fantastic range of passing. And he's actually a phenomenal penalty taker. 30 out of 34 penalties scored. He's about to become the Premier League's all-time leading scorer with 203 Premier League goals and 45 assists in his career. Does he lack ambition? Well, I don't think that's something that can be levelled at him if he moves. I think if he moves, he's moving because of ambition. I think it was extremely obvious he tried to move to Manchester City a couple of seasons ago. And one of the areas of Harry Kane is that he's not quite shown up in big games. And I'm not necessarily a fan of this as a stat, but I will give you the infos on it. Big games, cup finals, semi-finals, those sorts of things, they're usually tight affairs. So expecting every big player to score in every single one of those is a little bit unfair, I would say. That being said, when you contrast that with Marcus Rashford, that's someone who's got an excellent record in the big games that I don't think he gets enough credit for. But anyway, Harry Kane, Champions League final, 2019. He was an absolute ghost. Euro 2021 final, might as well not been on the pitch. Spurs have lost 2 league finals and he played in both, failed to score. In 9 semi-finals and 4 finals, he's got a total of 3 goals. 3 goals in 13 games. Missed the penalty in the huge moment when the pressure was on against France in the World Cup in Qatar. And he's got an excellent record in the North London derby. But Manchester United are going to have a lot bigger games than the North London derby every week. He's going to be expected to step up in a way that he has never done. And you've seen so many players go, I thought I played for a big club, and actually I have no idea what a big club is until I came to Manchester United. And on the ambition, so yes, we know that he wanted to go City the summer before last, and it seems like the only time he's 100% wanted out, and even that was done largely through, whatever reasons. I wouldn't be surprised if he signs a new deal at Spurs. It seems like a very, very safe option to do. It also would prevent the likes of Levy collapsing the deal, which might have had a factor in it last time, holding out for whatever sort of fee he was. His brother is his agent. He seems happy there. He might just want to break the Premier League scoring record at Spurs all at one club. Maybe he actually thinks he can win something with Spurs, but I think even with managers that have been incredibly successful, like Antonio Conte, successful elsewhere, Jose Mourinho, they've not managed to get over the line at Spurs. And this mentality of, lads, it's Tottenham, does seem to hold a little bit of weight. It does seem like there's some factors of truth in this whole thing. They never seem to be able to get over the line in any way, shape or form. And that has to be worrying if you're a Tottenham fan, has to be worrying if you're a Tottenham player. Certainly one that's got any sort of ambition. United needs someone that has got big ambition. Does Harry Kane have that? And could he disrupt the system? Now, I would think that was unlikely, to be honest. His link-up play is very good, and I think he brings others into it. The only concern I would have is we've not really seen him play with someone like Bruno Fernandes. Bruno Fernandes gets forward into those sorts of positions where Harry Kane would be dropping into. If they could dovetail in nicely with each other, that could be extremely effective. But without seeing them play together, my gut feeling is I feel like they might get in each other's way a little bit at times. And that could be an issue. I look at what Heung-min Son offers and look at what Marcus Rashford offers, and even though they're different players, I think they have a lot of similar attributes, and I can see how the way Heung-min Son plays with Kane would work for Marcus Rashford with Kane as well. So I think they'd be able to combine, and certainly with some of the other players, Anthony, Sancho, Garnacho, I could see how he could combine with those players. Bruno's the one that makes me go, not sure. Would it come in and affect Marcus? I think he's a selfish player, which not necessarily a negative thing in a striker. Ruud van Nistelrooy might be one of the selfishest strikers that's ever played for Manchester United. He's also one of the best. But could it affect Marcus? Marcus is the main man at Old Trafford at the moment. Does having somebody come in and take a little bit of that limelight away from him affect him? I'm not sure it would, but it's a fact that you probably have to think about. You know, we know that he can play in aggressively pressing systems. He certainly did it when he was a little bit younger under Pochettino, but as he gets older, with the money that's going to be required to get him and invest into him, is he worth that sort of cash? Is he a long-term option for United? He's 28. He might have another 4 years at the top. You know, the likes of Lewandowski, Benzema, who you wouldn't have thought would age as gracefully as he has done. Cristiano Ronaldo, you know, fell off lately, but let's be honest, he was strong all the way through his 30s, and we saw what Ibrahimovic was like. Ibrahimovic never even scored the level of goals he scored prior to turning 30 when he just started scoring. And then you've got Osimhen. Now, there's probably a little bit more risk with Osimhen as he's come from a different league. He's way younger. He's a way more dynamic option. And if Osimhen works, I think you'd rather spend the money on him because you've got a longer-term option. United have got a few players all kind of coming to the boil around about the same time, and you don't want to have what Liverpool have had in recent years where you've got too many players around the 28, 29, 30 mark all maturing and dropping off at the same time. You want to be buying players peaking and, you know, and having them through their peak years rather than through the, well, he's still pretty good kind of years, especially if you want to go and start winning things. And then you've got to say, can he do it at United? The pressure at Manchester United is different. Manchester United play different opposition than Spurs play in the same league. And if you don't understand what I'm saying, you must be new to football, because there is a difference in playing Manchester United. And Spurs are a big-ish club, I guess, but the difference of playing for Manchester United is vast. And maybe you won't be able to deal with that. Maybe while the pressure's off a little bit, you know, it's not the big team coming to town that everyone wants to beat in Spurs. He's able to go about his work. Could he do it when everyone is watching him fail? When every single thing he does is scrutinised by the likes of TalkSport to the nth degree? It's all well and good getting numbers, you know, at a reasonably smaller club than Manchester United. But are you just a Cockney Steve Bull? You've seen him fail to live up to pressure in the big moments, in an England shirt and in a Tottenham shirt. Every game is one of those moments in a United shirt. And that's not to say Osimhen's not going to be tarred with the same things. I think Osimhen's about to win something that Kane probably isn't going to do. That's a title. Let me know in the comments, do you think Harry Kane could step up and be that good for Manchester United? See you in the next one. Hey, thank you for watching the video. If you are new around these parts, then don't forget to subscribe. My channel is proudly supported by my community on Patreon. If you'd like to get a little bit of extra content, a Discord group, meetups, five-a-side games, weekly podcasts, behind the scenes, and even an occasional bit of transfer news as and when I get it, then for the price of a pint, you can show your appreciation for the content that we make and get some goodies for doing so as well. Check the link in the description or click the button right here. You'll also find all of my socials here too if you want to follow me on any of those platforms. Nice one.